Elderly woman shot dead and men used as forced labor in Buthidaung. Blockchain reactions, the peril and promise of techno-governance for stateless Rohingyas. Maintenance leniency of lavatories and water pump adds Rohingyas troubles. In the ongoing fight between the Burmese military and Arakan Army AA, another Rohingya woman was shot to death and men are also taken as porters and laborers by the Burmese military in villages of Buthidaung township. On 30th July at 5 p.m., a Rohingya elderly woman was shot by a Burmese military's machine gun at Sanguthaing village. Burmese military directly shot at a house of Rohingya and torched half of the house. In that incident, the woman could not save herself and she was shot to death immediately. The victim was identified to be Unsuma Hatu, wife of Jalal Ahmed. Earlier that day, 4 Rohingyas were taken as forced labor from another village and they were returned on that evening after making them work the entire day without any payment. Currently, due to the forced labor on men, Rohingya worry for their future as they might be shielded against their war with AA in that region. Earlier, many Rohingyas were taken as porters and were used as human shield. Many were also killed or disappeared in this process. Now, due to the situation, Rohingyas are also becoming prey of the Arakan Army as they might think Rohingyas are in collaboration with Burmese military in their ongoing regional war. While Burma's recent genocidal operation on its Rohingya minority, which saw 800,000 people driven into Bangladesh, has brought the community's oppression to the world's attention, it has also masked a longer-term project of exclusion in which the state has been denying the Rohingyas their ethnic name and forcing them from their homes since the 1970s. Not only are there now more Rohingyas living outside Myanmar than within, but entire generations are being brought up in an exile. Critically, many host communities institute ambiguous regimes of legality defined by intertwining inclusions and prohibitions, which keep Rohingyas in perpetual limbo, caught between the integration and expulsion. A Rohingya-led NGO based in Kuala Lumpur, KL, has proposed a novel, even radical solutions to use blockchain, the technology that enables cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, to circumvent the state exclusion that has long put things such as bank accounts out of reach for Rohingyas. At first glance, this sounds far-fetched, even absurd, but the Rohingya Project, RP, is suggesting that Rohingyas speculate in volatile crypto markets. Rather, it proposes to create an assemblage out of blockchain, biometrics, and fine tech to generate new forms of both individual and collective subjectivity, enabling Rohingyas to take control of their identities and futures. This vision, in its ambition to attain nothing less than the transformation of Rohingya, form largely invisible stateless individuals to new juridico-economic subjects, goes beyond techno-whimsy. It also introduces the sobering risk fundamental to improvising with new technologies on some of the world's most marginalized people. Malaysia, one of the countries in which I have been conducting research on Rohingya lives, has become the home to over 200,000 Rohingyas over the past 3 decades. After years of harsh immigration policies, recent reforms precipitated by empathy in relation to the intensification of the ethnic cleansing in Burma have produced a tacit Malaysian state policy in which the Rohingyas are permitted to reside in the country. However, the mechanism enacted by the United Nations Refugee Organization, UNHCR, for discerning real Rohingyas from other illegal immigrants is beset with flaws, resource shortages, and even corruption. Moreover, even if a Rohingya attains the coveted UNHCR card, this affords them no resources, and as they still remain illegal, according to the law, harassment at the hands of state security forces persists. More importantly, this illegality means the Rohingyas are also prohibited from employment and education. Employers hence exploit Rohingya laborers, most of whom toil in low value added sectors such as fish processing or construction, forcing them to accept wages far below the market rate. Rohingya children are barred from education, meaning that they risk reproducing their parents' marginalized labor position. Rohingya NGOs have emerged to attempt to redress these exclusions. Dozens of learning centers have sprouted up to provide informal education. Others deliver local development initiatives such as urban farming or mosque cleaning. But there is a pervading sense, given this structural exclusion of the Rohingyas, that these initiatives merely manage perpetual exclusion. Muhammad Noor, the head of RP, an organization that began as Rohingya Media Service, Rvision, amongst other initiatives, expands on the relationship between legal exclusion and persistent socio-economic marginalization. Here, Rohingyas are manual laborers, but it's not today laboring and then soon they are managing. There is no improvement because they don't have documents. They can't open shops, can't own transport, can't have bank accounts. They are stuck in this circle. While the Burmese state has denied the Rohingya their name, Noor here suggests that the lack of identity has deeper ramifications, a life of interminable marginalization passed on from one generation to the next. The critical intervention RP is proposing involves nothing less than a transformation in the politico-legal status of Rohingya lives itself. But how, in a world of states that remain the sovereign prerogative to dictate belonging, can the Rohingya trend traverse the threshold of exclusion? Lack of maintenance and renovation of necessary places like lavatories and water pump has added Rohingyas troubles on daily basis in makeshift camps of Cox's Bazar, Bangladesh. At Block B2, Balukali 2, 5 lavatories and a water pump, well, drinkable water, were donated by ACF. Both the lavatories and water pump were used by sheltering Rohingyas of nearby 3 blocks, and for drinking water, many Rohingyas from far off also comes to collect drinking water. Since past 3 months, all the lavatories, due to the lack of cleanliness, got filled and wastes are leaking out to the pedestrians area, and it has become impossible for people to walk near the lavatories due to the severe pungent smell. Similarly, for lack of renovation, the water collection area of the water pump cracked at similar times, leaving the water pump tilted. As Rohingyas in the area have no other choice for drinking water, they somehow managed to put some cement sacks and temporarily made it usable. Since that period, Rohingyas in the area have requested ACF, who donated them, as well as other INGOs and NGOs like BRAC and Action Aid in areas several times. From all of the places till today, Rohingyas did not receive any help, and finally, on the 27th of July, they were appealed to them with evidences like pictures, etc. Since 2016, 1.3 million Rohingyas are battling with one or the other urgent humanitarian needs after fleeing an intense genocidal operation at the hands of Burmese army.